Good morning or afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome. My name is Julie Kavarian, and I will be hosting this meeting today. If you would, please make sure you're all on mute. And with that, let me go ahead and get started, and we will do some introductions as we start. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn my camera off and start my presentation. Okay. One more technical issue here for me to get set up. And with that, first of all, welcome to the Step Up to version 24.2 webinar. I'm Julie Kavarian. I will be the host today. Later on, we'll also be hearing from Gary Regal to talk about the particular promotion of Step Up to 24.2. If you do have questions, please go ahead and pop them into the chat window. We will answer them as we go along. If not, if we don't answer them in the chat, we will definitely have a spot for questions towards the end of the presentation. And our agenda today is going to start with a little bit about who is Bricsys and what is BricsCAD. And then we'll get into what's new and exciting in BricsCAD version 24.2. Now, this webinar is geared to the 2D drafting workspace, which highlights new and improved features, but we'll also see just a couple of new and improved features also in the civil survey toolset. So again, questions, pop them into the chat window, but we will have time for questions towards the end. I'll do a quick summary of what I showed you from the technology standpoint, and then Gary Regal will talk about how you can take part in the promotion Step Up to version 24.2. So who is Bricsys? What is BricsCAD? And what does BricsCAD do differently or better than other CAD programs? Well, Bricsys is our company and BricsCAD is our CAD product. Bricsys, has been building professional design and engineering software for over 2 decades. And we have a global customer base across Europe, the Americas, and Asia. Bricsys is part of a much larger company, Hexagon AB. Hexagon is a very large, publicly traded hardware and software technology group that's based in Stockholm, Sweden. So Bricsys has the power of Hexagon backing us. Now, BricsCAD is a professional drawing CAD platform without compromise. Could everyone make sure that they are on mute, please? I've got something coming in on the back. So what does that mean? Well, that means that BricsCAD is a single platform for all of our various editions for both 2D and 3D, and that this is based on the native DWG file format. So it's an alternative to that other CAD product. And it's important because our single platform has a familiar user interface, which makes BricsCAD easy to learn, but also existing customizations that you have migrate easily over to BricsCAD. This could include things like auto list routines, styles, and of course your drawings are built on DWG, so there's nothing to migrate or translate with those. What makes us different? Well, we still believe that the DWG platform is extensible. What do I mean by that? Well, like many companies, we've embraced areas of AI and machine learning to help increase productivity. And we've done that by focusing on building tools specifically to take out those tedious and time-consuming tasks out of the workflow, which thereby means increased productivity for you. In addition, our licensing structure is flexible because we still offer network licenses and perpetual and subscription license options. So you can pick and choose, mix and match to whatever meets your needs. Who uses BricsCAD? Well, these are just a couple of our customers with their thoughts on BricsCAD. As you can see, these are both large customers and small companies in engineering, construction, design, manufacturing, and architecture. There are 5 BricsCAD editions. Light is for 2D, Pro includes everything in Light and adds 3D functionality, as well as it adds the Civil Survey Toolkit. We also have a BIM product, a mechanical product, and if you want everything that's on this page, that would be our Ultimate Edition. Now, today's webinar is focused on BricsCAD Pro and Light, with a bit of survey and civil tools thrown in. In our current release 24.2, we've introduced a more intuitive user interface, improved performance and stability, and added new and enhanced features that further boost your productivity. So let's begin with the start page. On the new start page, you can see some changes immediately. No longer do we have the ribbon available here, but we've welcomed the information panel on the right-hand side. So finding information about BricsCAD's a breeze, starting at the top where you can see your license level, version, and have access to the license manager. If you need some tips for commands, we've got you covered there with direct links to the help site. Highlighted commands here will change every so often, so keep your eyes peeled on that. And if you've ever wondered if your BricsCAD version is up to date, well, you can check that here on this page as well, right in the information panel. We have single clicks that take you to other links specifically for the Help Center, Bricsys support, and more. You can also select your favorite workspace before opening a drawing and easily locate drawings from your list of recent files using the search bar. You can display those recent files in either the grid view or the table view, and yes, you can pin your drawings to the top as well. Learning materials are conveniently consolidated on the Learn tab. You have access to hands-on tutorials, free online lessons, and sample drawings, all to enhance your skills and knowledge. V24.2 brings with it a suite of performance improvements that promise to boost efficiency and stability. This is tailored for drafters, for designers, and for fabricators across all industries. And it focuses on accelerating the creation of detailed design documentation that's essential whether you're creating buildings, fabricating, or manufacturing processes. So let's take a look at some of these improvements and new features. Now here is a floor plan, and as you can see, we're missing some doors. Now there are many ways to draw those doors. We could draw the individual lines representing the doors, maybe a curve or an arc, and then break the lines where that door would be inserted. We could, of course, create a new door block. We could use an existing door block, but with both of those options, there's still cleanup work need to be done. By what I mean is cutting the walls out for that door opening. So another option is to use copy guided and move guided. And let's start with that option. So with copy guided, you select a set of entities along with the guide geometry so that those entities can be copied to similar surroundings. Now here the door block is selected, and not only is it copied, but the wall lines are broken for the door opening. And we can click and point to where we want that inserted, or we can use exact dimensions to place it where it needs to be. Now, if you have a different selection option, let's say we include the T-wall with that door. Now the door is placed at the same distance from matching T-walls. So this will definitely save some clicks if you're counting. And it could also help reduce placement errors. But now maybe we've got too many doors, so move guided can act like an eraser, moving the door out of the wall and automatically healing those wall lines. Then simply delete the unwanted door blocks. Now, another option would be to insert a block from a tool palette. And this works really well, generally though, for geometry that's in a standard UCS. like we see here, but not so well when we have angled entities like this wall over here. But no worries, because copy guided makes it easy to insert that block into those angled walls. Let's take another look here at a master drawing that has two XREFs, one for furniture and one for the walls and some plumbing layouts. Now, to be honest, the drawings are a bit of a mess. So how do we fix them? Well, first, let's look at what's in the drawing with the Drawing Explorer, where we can view content, meaning styles, layers, line types, even blocks and page setups that are in the file. Now here, we can notice there are quite a few blocks in this drawing, a lot of great information, but there's another way that we can interactively view the drawing entities, and that's with the structure browser. Now, the structure browser is an interactive tree view that displays the entities in the current model. It's configurable, so you can change the tree view of those drawing entities. Let's change from the default sorting by layer to organize the drawing entities by blocks, because we had so many blocks in our drawing. Now, this also gives us a quick and easy way to see all the blocks in the drawing, and we can search and select any number of those blocks, then isolate and zoom to those specific blocks to make it easier to work with just those entities. Now, let's go back to just the master drawing. So we're going to close the XREF and just go back to that master drawing. And the first thing that you're going to notice is that furniture plan is not positioned properly. I said these drawings were a bit of a mess. So how do we fix this? Well, with Find Outliers, we can move those XREF entities to the correct location. Again, we're in the master drawing, and Find Outliers will identify those XREF entities as XREF entities here, right? And now we can move that group of entities to the proper location without being in that XREF or having it open. So now this is fixed and everything is now in alignment. Let's go back and talk about what we saw in the Drawing Explorer, that there are a lot of block definitions. Many were not used. There could be duplicate blocks, and there could even be geometry that's not a block but should. So how do we fix that mess? Well, Drawing Health will straighten this out. Drawing Health combines the power of multiple commands like purge and audit and blockify into one location or dialog box. Now, these routines can be automated, or you can maintain control to pick and choose what to keep or what to purge. Here in Overkill, we can actually zoom to those duplicate blocks so we can see what block is what, which will help us identify which block to keep and which to delete. Deleting those duplicate blocks is going to clean up the drawing and help reduce file size as well. Next, we have Blockify, which you may know. Blockify can turn existing geometry into blocks by matching that geometry to the existing block definitions in the drawing. But again, we have control over what is actually converted to a block. And we can turn on a report to keep a record of all the changes made to the drawing, which could be important. If you're getting this from someone else, you want to let them know, hey, here's what we had to clean up before we could use your drawing. Now that the drawing is cleaned up, why were there so many block definitions in the drawing and some of them weren't used? Well, I suspect that those were all in the drawing template. So let's look at the template that was used to create this drawing and see what it contains, again, with the Drawing Explorer. Now we can see we've got a couple of line types, we've got a couple of layers, all good things that should be in a template. But here we've got these blocks, a lot of block definitions, but a lot that have not been inserted. You see that 0, 0 there. That means it has not been inserted into the drawing. All right, so I think this means that we need to talk about block management, because there are better ways to manage blocks than by just loading them into a template file, just in case you might need them. How? Well, BricsCAD provides several options. First, with tool palettes. Again, from Drawing Explorer, select the blocks and pop them onto your current tool palette. Doesn't get easier than that. And now drag and drop those blocks right into your drawing. And if needed, these palettes could be shared with others in your organization. Now, another option is extract blocks. In a matter of seconds, extract blocks creates a separate drawing file for each block. Sounds like a W block. And we can see here at the properties that 77 W blocks were created in seconds, literally seconds. Now think, how long would it take you to create or write out 77 blocks? This now makes it easy to determine which blocks you need to keep, or maybe you can delete some. Again, the Drawing Explorer can be helpful with that. This time, we'll use the Drawing Explorer folder option to access those blocks. And again, if you need to share throughout the office. Now we can review each of these blocks. Right here, we can have a preview, or we can insert them into a drawing for use. And finally, if the Drawing Explorer or the tool palettes don't meet your needs, try the library panel. By setting the path to match those that we just extracted with the extract blocks, setting that path in the library panel, those blocks are now ready from the library panel to, again, they could be dragged and dropped into your drawing. So in summary, we covered a lot in this workflow, but we were focused on efficiently managing and optimizing a 2D drawing using BricsCAD tools like Copy Guided, Move Guided when we started to insert the doors, Drawing Explorer, Structure Browser to look at blocks, find outliers to clean up that XREF and position it correctly, and of course, Drawing Health. Overall, the video demonstrates a systematic approach to streamline 2D drawing workflows, enhance drawing organization, and in general, improve overall drawing health and efficiency with BricsCAD. Because better drawing health is going to be a more efficient drawing, and a more efficient drawing is going to allow you to work faster as well. Next are a couple of seemingly small improvements, yet they have or could have a big impact on getting your work done faster, which is one of the main goals of 24.2. First up is the status bar indication for hidden entities, and then we'll look at editing polyline segments. Now, many users have asked for a way to determine whether there are hidden or isolated objects in a drawing. So we've added the Hide Objects field to the status bar. Select the objects to hide, right-click on the status bar field, and select Hide or Isolate. That's all there is to it. And you can control if that field is on or off from that tiny little arrow in the far right of the status bar. We've also heard your requests and added a new simplified method for editing polylines. We've added a visual clue that identifies which end of the P-line segment is selected. And that's important for the end result. So let's take a look at removing a P-line segment. Now, both examples are going to start with a P-line that has 2 segments. Now notice there will be a small red dot when the cursor moves to one or the other ends of the P-line. This identifies the end of the P-line to be edited. Select the bottom of the segment and the P-line is automatically extended to the top. So now there's only one P-line segment. Now, the other example, when the top is selected, the P-line is not extended. So we can use stretch vertex to stretch the one P-line up to the other. Again, small but critical improvements. Performance is at the heart of 24.2's enhancements, and we've worked to help you save time and also make BricsCAD more stable to ensure that you don't lose precious data and also that the software behaves as you expect. Now you can look forward to loading large drawings faster. We do that with the property object limits, so you can set a limit to the number of entities displayed in the properties panel, and this will help improve performance. So when you do a select all, the properties panel lets you know if you've reached that limit, and then you can choose to either ignore it or change it. And for color map point clouds, you can change the color schemes quicker and save on memory use, both saving you time. So how do we do that? Well, we delivered better DWG load performance with better property management. So we delivered faster drawing loads when working with those large drawings. Here, when we do a select all, the items in the drawing shows a tally of over 44,000 entities. This could take precious seconds, and that can be frustrating. But by implementing the properties object limits and setting a value, here we type in 2500 at the command line. The next time we do that select all, the properties panel tells us, hey, the limit's been reached. So this might take a bit of time. And now we can choose to either ignore that limit or again, change it at the command line. We've improved the display performance of color map point clouds so that they are quicker to display, and changing between color schemes is also faster. And this is especially true when the auto apply option is checked. So better display performance and better memory usage means a fantastic time saving gains for you. We've also enhanced the sheet set management workflow with faster drawing sheet creation, faster previewing, and it's easier to add items like labels and callout blocks. So let's see what else is new in Sheet Set Manager by opening a DST file to have a look. The preview function is much faster, giving you an idea of what's in a sheet without actually having to open it. And don't forget, in 24, we've got multi-user access to those DST files. The workflow has been really improved so that it's easier to add items such as label and callout blocks. Navigate to the blocks you want to use and choose whether you want to use the entire drawing or blocks within the drawing. It's also quicker and easier to add new sheets based on existing drawings. Select a drawing and then select from individual sheets within that drawing. And now here it is in the sheet list ready to be used. Saved model views can also be added and will be shown in the model view of the Sheet Set Manager. These are visible in the model, but they aren't yet part of the sheet list. However, they can be dragged and dropped right onto the new layout, each with their own display properties and scaling. Click on the sheet list and you'll see the new layouts added. Now, another way we've streamlined the Sheet Set Manager is by enabling viewports to be deleted and having that automatically removed from the sheet list. Nice. BricsCAD also helps users manage paper sizes with full support of PMP files when printing to physical or virtual paper. So documentation workflows have also been improved with this addition of PMP files, plot model parameters. This enables the use of custom paper sizes. You can either navigate to and attach an existing PMP file that's maybe already being used within your organization, or you can add a new custom size by giving it a name and then changing the paper size and or changing the paper margins as necessary. Because maintaining consistency throughout your predefined paper sizes not only means better quality drawings, but again, that's going to save you some time. All of this, whether it's on real paper or if it's on virtual paper. All right, so that's just some of the new and improved features in BricsCAD Pro. Now I'm excited to share some highlights of what we have for our civil and survey users. The civil and survey tools in BricsCAD can be a great solution for many users, but particularly those who don't need all the features and all the complexity of a full civil and survey application. BricsCAD introduced practical tools for civil engineers and surveyors starting with V19, bringing productivity-enhancing tools to the industry in a familiar CAD environment with a particular focus on creating accurate and efficient tin surfaces and grading objects, as well as workflows to leverage GIS data, even round-tripping that to other GIS systems. Now, we've been working hard to improve our areas of focus and make them even more powerful and easier to use. And in this version, we've introduced enhancements to the tin surface UI to make it easier to learn and faster to use, and transparent commands to allow entering data in common civil survey formats. So enter the data in the format that you have it, whether that's bearing and distance, or angle and distance, or point numbers, and more, directly into those CAD commands. So you'll get the job done faster when the commands work the way you do. Now, the user interface is more intuitive and easier to learn. So in this case, we'll select a group of survey points to create a tin surface quickly and efficiently, and also maintain visibility into how that tin was created. We can edit parameters such as edge length so that the tin is as accurate and efficient as possible. Using the new transparent commands to enter data in common civil survey formats, for example, to break line data, whether this is specifying civil point numbers or snapping to any part of the point object. And once your break lines are created, adding this data is quick and easy with immediate surface updating and the ability to use the properties panel to update any civil points that may be incorrect. We've also introduced a specific tin surface definition for contour data to automatically minimize those flat areas, weeding and supplementing factors to control the number of vertices used on break lines and contours when creating a surface, which again makes them more accurate and efficient. And a new user interface for editing and creating label styles, speeding up this tedious process and making it easier to standardize labeling across your drawings. Now, at times, contour data might be the only data that you have available to build your tin surface. In 24.2, we've added the ability to create tin directly from contours instead of treating the contours as break lines. Now, this allows us to minimize flat areas typically created by contour data and greatly increases the accuracy of those tin surfaces. You have the option to add supplemental vertices to ensure that curves are maintained or to weed out vertices from over-digitized data. And you also have the option to remove outer edges. Now, if we look at a surface that treats contour data as break lines, you can see quite easily the difference in accuracy of the tin created from the same data. But using our new contour data option, that minimizes those flat areas, which makes a more accurate tin. So even if contour data isn't the most desirable data for your tin surface creation, with BricsCAD 24.2, that makes it possible for you to create a better, more accurate, and efficient tin from it anyway. In 24.2, we've enhanced the import GIS function. So now you can create and edit objects using the commands you already know with transparent commands, which enable you to enter data in common civil and survey formats. From there, GIS attribute data add GIS attribute data directly into the existing table. So in response, again, to user feedback and user requests, we've continued to build on that GIS import function. It's now possible to round-trip GIS data because BricsCAD can read objects from AutoCAD Map or Civil 3D, import them into an attribute table. Attributes and records can be selected from the table with the ability to zoom to the items in the drawing or zoom to the table line for the item. And we can filter objects based on attribute data, which allows you to quickly find the objects you need, and then add to your filters to further refine your data searches. We've built on the import GIS data function, so now you can create and edit objects using familiar CAD commands, as well as transparent commands, so you can enter the data in common civil survey formats. This includes bearing and distance, and from there you can add GIS attribute data directly to the existing table. And also new is the ability to create GIS layers from scratch. Specify the name, specify the geometry type and attribute data, then draw objects using your favorite CAD commands. Add them to the new GIS layer along with any attribute data. When you need to share your data with stakeholders, select what you want to share and export it to a shapefile. This functionality ensures that you're fully able to participate in GIS data workflows, all within your favorite CAD environment. All right, we've covered a lot of new information here. Let me just do a very, very quick review because we looked at several very interesting topics related to performance and efficiency improvements. The improved start page, the display of hidden or isolated items with the new field in the status bar, and faster color scheme in point clouds, as well as optimized workflows for 2D, simplified editing of P-line segments, setting limits for object properties in the properties panel, improved sheet set, and custom paper configurations for printing. In the civil tool set, we saw interface improvements for creating tin surfaces and for label styles, improvements to the tin surface, such as creation from boundary data and vertex modification factors on the surface, in addition to the improved flow of GIS data. Next steps, well, to learn more about BricsCAD 24.2, contact your local reseller or visit our website, bricsys.com. Here you can watch from videos from our recent virtual launches of 24.2, complete with all the keynotes and breakout sessions. And if you haven't already, download a 30-day trial of BricsCAD to see for yourself. We also have many resources for help and information, from online help center to online training videos, YouTube videos, blog posts, and even a whole page on our website for migration and quick start guides. And our BricsCAD support team is second to none. For customers on maintenance, you receive outstanding support from our technical team. All right, let's see. Do we have any questions, or do we want to send it over to Gary?
There's no questions currently in the chat area, Julie, but while we're at this point, let me start sharing my presentation, then we can switch over as soon as we're ready.
Okay, all yours.
Awesome. So hopefully everybody can see my screen.
Yes.
Thank you, Julie. That was an excellent overview. And this webinar is really for people that are interested in what's in the new release, the 24.2 release, whether you're on maintenance or not. And what I'm going to be talking about in a moment here is, if you're not currently under a maintenance contract, we have an opportunity to save you some dollars by a promotion that we have running through the end of the month called the Step Up promotion. We'll talk a little bit about that here in a second, in what the specifics are around that promotion. If you're currently on maintenance, you have access to 24.2, and you can go, if you haven't already, you can go up to your Bricsys account and download the newest release and take advantage of the great features that Julie just ran through and showed you here on, what the enhancements are around Pro for performance, and the civil survey enhancements that are in Pro as well. So I would encourage you to do that if you haven't done that already, if you're on a current maintenance contract. So what is the Step Up promotion? It really is for people that do not currently have an active maintenance contract. If you've fallen off of maintenance or have not renewed your maintenance and want to get back on maintenance and get upgraded to the most current release, which is 24.2, we have an opportunity for you to do that through the Step Up program. So it's an instant way to upgrade your seats not currently covered by support and maintenance. And that's the key element there. Is it's when you're on the maintenance contract, that not only includes new updates to the software that we come out with throughout the year, but also support directly from Bricsys. So it gives you the opportunity to getting direct access to our technical teams that will help you and support you on any questions that you have about the product, and give you the ability to do that while you're on a current maintenance contract. It also allows you to stay current on the software, and that's the important thing as well, is that as we come out with new features and enhancements, for you to take advantage of that, you've got to be on those most current releases. So that's what a maintenance contract will provide for you. And when you use the upgrade program or the step up program, that also gives you 1 year of maintenance included in that upgrade. And then it gives you access to all the online support and features as well. So what is the promotion? It is started actually at the beginning of April. We had emails that have gone out and posted this information. You may have received information from your reseller about the promotion as well. So it started back at the beginning of April, and it goes through the end of May, the end of this month. The promotion really depends on what version of Bricsys that you're currently on, or when you fell off of maintenance. So if you're on a version 23 product, you can get a 25% discount to go up to the version 24. If you're on version 22, it's a 30% discount. And if you're on version 21 or below, it's a 35% discount. And that discount is off of the cost of upgrading to the current release of the product. If you're on a subscription program, you're going to stay current by being under subscription. So this is primarily for people that have had perpetual software, either purchased maintenance initially when you bought the software, or you had maintenance and you did not renew maintenance. This gives you the capability of getting back on a maintenance contract with us and getting current on the software. And by the way, if you don't know if you have maintenance or what version you're on, you can go into your Bricsys account and find that out. Julie showed you earlier how to look up which version you're currently using, but you can also go into your Bricsys account and the information is there, or contact your reseller or contact us directly. We can help you, let you understand which version of the software you're on and if you have an active maintenance contract or not. And some of the importance of being on maintenance, it's really that what we're talking about today is staying current on the most current features and releases of our product. And we come out with typically a major release at least. The capability of doing that. But it's more than that. It also gives you access to support from Bricsys. If you don't have a current active maintenance contract, you don't have access to that support. Nor do you have access to getting current on the software. We do have a lot of online information that you can stay up to date on what we're doing and what the product is all about. And there's some online tools to help you get support. But being on the maintenance contract gives you that direct link and direct access to Bricsys and your resellers, which is what I'll cover here in this next slide. So access to our help center with or without maintenance, you still have that. Access to the forums that are online, you still have that. Self-paced learning is available to everybody, whether you have maintenance or not. And then minor releases that we have within the same Bricsys version. So you can get a maintenance release if you're in the same Bricsys version, but not an updated release. And a lot of the features that Julie showed would be an upgrade release. But major product releases and updates, 24.2 is one of those. Expert product support directly from Bricsys is available if you're on a maintenance contract. And then being able to influence development and improvements in feature requests. So you can submit SRs and requests for things that you're looking for and get direct access to us. And then proprietary plugins that we have, and that's available. So there's a lot of benefits to being under a maintenance contract. If you don't currently have one and you use our step-up program to upgrade, that will give you 1 year from the time that you do that for maintenance. And then we would highly encourage you to continue renewing your maintenance thereafter on an annual basis to stay current on the software. So I'll conclude with let's all step up. Contact your reseller. They're your best resource for finding out what the options are for you and the products that you have. If you don't know who your reseller is, feel free to reach out to us directly and we can guide you there. Or if you're not, if you don't have a reseller, we can also help you there. So I've got my email address here that you can contact me directly. You can, of course, always go online and we have a reseller lookup page there as well. But your reseller is your best resource for getting you information about this program. So I will conclude with that. Julie, do we have any questions or do we? Want to
I
open it
don't
up for
see
questions?
I don't see any in the chat. If you do have any, please go ahead and type that in the chat. Somebody must have a question.
And if you want to ask a question, you can unmute yourself and feel free to ask a question that way.
Anybody? Going once? Ah, here we go. Bricsys works with SketchUp. We can do some importing of SketchUp files, but it's not something that you would take back and forth between BricsCAD and SketchUp. Who else? Well, if you think of anything, you can reach out to Gary or myself. But from there, I guess if there's no other questions.
Yeah, there was a question. Will this recording be made available? I know we are recording it. Where we're going to post it, Julie, I don't know, or Louisa.
Yes, we are going to post it on YouTube.
Okay.
As soon as we get the record.
Okay, have another question. I assume you need the civil package for importing GIS data. That is part of Pro. There is a civil workspace that will make the access to the civil and survey commands. But no, you don't. It's part of Pro. It's just in the civil workspace to import GIS data. We can import from map and civil 3D. So as long as you have Pro, you'll have that. Can you import seed files from MicroStation? Let's see. We can import DGN files. I'm not exactly sure I remember what a seed file is from MicroStation. Christian, if you could provide a little information there or take yourself off mute. DGN is okay. Okay. You're going to want to read some of the articles because how you export and import that, there are some setups that you might be mindful of. Data is organized slightly differently between DGNs and DWGs, but you can. Seed files similar to library files. I'm not sure. Does V24 now have step file import feature? You still would need to purchase our communicator add-on to get the additional import and export file types around the mechanical industry. So you would have to do that with communicator. All right, there we had a good run. Anyone else?
Last call for questions.
Going once. Going twice.
Let me just quickly check the Q&A. There are a couple in the Q&A area as well.
Okay.
Does BricsCAD V24 now have step files? So somebody
We just
probably went over to the chat and plugged that in. So it looks like we're good there. And do you offer training directly through Bricsys, or is it only through resellers? So we have a couple options there. I would say the first thing that you want to do is probably contact your local reseller and see what training is available there. We do have a tremendous amount of training stuff that's on our website. So I'd encourage you to take a look at what is there and see if that will give you sufficient information. And also the Bricsys YouTube channel is a really good area for self-paced training. But outside of that, if there are some specific trainings that you need, you can contact us and we can work with you at that as well.
And let me just piggyback on that, Gary. Within the start page, you have access to some learning videos right in that start page and learn page. You answer 2 questions. Basically, do you have any CAD experience? Yes or no? And what are you interested in? 2D, 3D. And some tutorials will come up right within BricsCAD. It'll open a new drawing. It'll show you little GIFs and animations on what to do. And you can actually then use that drawing and try it yourself. as well as there are multiple online videos, learning videos. You do have to sign in and register for those, but they are free. You know, there's Bricsys Essentials, there's unique features, there's one on migrating AutoCAD to BricsCAD, how to customize BricsCAD. So a lot of information there, as well as on our website on the migration page, there are several different ebooks or mini ebooks. One on migration, there's a quick start guide. There's one specifically on parametric blocks. So a lot, and also within the software, make sure you turn on that tips panel, because that again has a lot of information and that will change based on the edition you're in. So what's new in 24.2, what's new in mechanical, what's new in civil, as well as just some basic CAD information and basic BricsCAD information. So that may get you started on answering some of those training questions. Okay. There's also a question on how much is the communicator add-on. You can find that information online. I don't have the price off the top of my head. I don't do money.
Yeah, check our online store. I don't want to throw a number out there. I can look it up real quick, but.
Or Billy, you can email Gary and he can get you that information. And
it would be geography based. So I will just let you know that if you're in the US, the suggested retail price on that is $660. So if you're out elsewhere in Canada or in Latin America, please check with your local resource on that price.
All right.
That's for a perpetual license.
Well, thank you everyone for attending. Thank you for the great questions, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.